Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about On Call. So this is a new Prime show. It's a cop show, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I've been on Prime all month long, and I haven't seen nothing for this show. And then one day I'm watching something else, and you know how they recommend stuff for you, and then all of a sudden this just like came up and everything, right? And so right now it's ranked number 2 in the US, at least what Prom says and stuff. And it has like a 7.6 rating on IMDb. No, IMDb. And so this was created by, Dick Wolf and everything. He's known for doing a lot of cop dramas. I'm not a huge cop drama fan. I don't really watch like cop shows, but when I saw that Troyan Bella Rosa was gonna be in this, I'm all like, yo, that's Spencer from Pretty Little Liars. I'll watch like, Troyan in like anything because I haven't seen her in nothing since that Pretty Little Liars. And anybody who's ever watched Pretty Little Liars, the original, knows she was one of the best parts of that entire show. She was one of the best actresses on there. She has a lot of range of emotion, and there's a reason why she's a lot of people's favorite. So I'm all like, cool, I get to see her like, in the cop drama and stuff. Now, this is the first time Dick Wolf ever created a cop show that was literally 20 something minutes long. Yes, every episode is like 20 something minutes long, close to like 30 something. Because normally they're like, those 40-minute hour shows. And so, like, there's only 8 episodes, and that's it. And the show literally just came out like a few days ago. So I was able to catch it on the first day. And since, it's basically 4 hours long, you can just like binge it really fast because every episode comes out every day. And so this show is very, very unique in the sense that it's a completely different type of cop drama. They focus more on like cop patrol and everything. So it's not really your like, detective type thing or like, precinct type thing where, have like a lot of drama stuff going on. It's kind of like the television show Cops from the 80s and the 90s. Take that, serialize it, is basically what you get. So it's kind of like Reno 911, but it's not a parody. Now, what's cool about this show is about as real as you can get. This show feels real, just like it felt like Cops, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're people on patrol, they're stopping, like, drug dealers, they're stopping gangsters, they're stopping, like, prostitutes, and all. They're dealing with the homeless. They're in real life type situations that feel about as real and gritty as it can get. And so, like, I remember, I'm thinking to myself, like, when it first came on, I'm looking online, nobody's talking about this show whatsoever. There's only one dude on YouTube who reviewed this, and I can't even understand what he's saying because it's in Hindi. And so, like, there's a trailer for it, and most people are just excited because, Troyan is in it. And so, like, as I'm, like, watching, like I said before, it's about patrol cops. It's dark, it's gritty and everything. There is a side plot because a rookie cop got killed in the first couple of minutes of the episode, and then it's basically Troyan's character looking for the gunman, and she did it off books. The bad part about this show, while I appreciate the fact that it's different type cop show, is about patrol, you get to see body cam footage and everything, and that's kind of neat. You don't get to see that in other cop shows. I also like the different angles whenever there's a car chase. The action's pretty good and everything. The problem is they need to have more. Episodes need to be longer and the minutes need to be longer. This needs to be your typical 40-minute to an hour show. It needs to have at least 13 or 20 episodes to flesh stuff out a bit more. Not only that, but they kind of overdo the body cam stuff. Like it happens at least 6, 7 times in one episode, and it's like that in every episode, and it becomes a bit tedious and everything, and it becomes a bit annoying after a while. 1 or 2 times is perfect. They don't need no more than that, and so like. Another thing they need to do, they need to flesh out their characters a heck of a lot more. What you see is what you get, with no real background to like really who they are, unless it's the main two characters. Troyan's character who plays Officer Harmon, and then there is Brandon, and I cannot pronounce his name, Larry or something like that. He plays Officer Diaz. He's a rookie cop. And, he's going through his period. Not that kind of period. He's a dude. But he's going through, like, the period of, like, will he be an actual real cop, or he going to stay like a rookie and stuff like that, right? And the problem is that when it comes to the recurring characters, you don't know much about them other than what you see. When it comes to these two characters, you get a bit more, but you need more. You get a bit more with him, but not so much Officer Harmon. And the problem is that because it goes from like cop patrol stuff, trying to figure out who this like killer is named Maniac that killed that rookie officer, but then it goes into this whole gang thing, and that is a problem because of the simple fact you need more time to develop this. So we get introduced to this character named Smokey and everything, and he's like this big time gangster. And this is where the plot starts to get really confusing and everything, because it shifts from trying to find the killer to this whole gang thing, and this whole, because I snitched or I helped you out, then people are pissed at me, so I gotta be pissed at you, and need retribution type crap. And it's kind of like you can't fully tell that story in 20 something minutes. You need a longer runtime because it becomes pretty complicated, and a lot of stuff happens off screen, and you just kind of like, I need more, you know what I'm saying? And the season gets wrapped up just in case they don't get a second season. Will they get a second season? Honestly, I don't know, because I've noticed a lot of shows that are similar to this that's on Amazon Prime, and also those that have like a female lead, tend to only last one season. And because a lot of stuff is not fleshed out, and we don't really get to see a lot of this stuff that we get to hear about the backstory and stuff. We just hear about it. We never get to see it. So they tell and they don't show, and that's a major problem. So I don't know if this can get a second season. If they do, they really need to go and rework a lot of stuff. And some of the things that need to work out is just the character development, because there is no real character development. Everybody is just one note and everything. And another problem is there's gonna be some people that are gonna be a little irritated by the two leads because it's modern day Hollywood. Even I felt myself a little annoyed by the characteristics of the main two leads and stuff. And it's because like it's typical Hollywood. You have like, here's the thing, right? When I'm gonna complain about this, but anybody who knows me knows I do not hate strong women. I respect strong women. I like wokeness, all this other stuff, right? But here's the problem. Troyan is an amazing actress. Like I said, she has so much range as Spencer. Whether Spencer's being the stuck up like prep, whether she's being super smart, whether she was being on drugs, whether she goes crazy in the head. If you ever watch Pretty Little Liars, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But here, they have her as the tough, hard-nosed, knows everything super cop who has an attitude constantly, has really no emotions unless she sees like a dead dog. Then all of a sudden she has emotions and everything. When she's dealing with her sister, who used to be a cop but now is a druggie and homeless, she's handling her in a very tough, non-emotional kind of way. And it kind of drags because it's kind of like she's your main character, you want to like her, but they wrote her so unlikable, you kind of want to hate this character and stuff. Because not only is she a super cop who knows everything, but she demeans other people, and she's so rude and everything. Like, she's constantly like pissed off like 24/7 and everything, right? And she has this rookie cop who's her male partner, and just like in modern Hollywood, he's the dumb male character. He is an extreme rookie cop who can't do nothing right. And she has to teach him everything, even to tell him to put his gloves on when he's going to search something. He should know that, but they have him like he is so inept in the head. And like, but he's really compassionate because there are times where, they're about to arrest somebody, and then he'll talk to him who's like on drugs and stuff like that, and talking about, I can help you. And he even helps her sister out by not putting her in the system, but instead there's like this type of halfway house that he knows about that helps people kind of like off the books, and he did that for her, which was really nice. But he is constantly reckless, and he causes a lot of problems. There are people who he's chasing who ends up dead. He goes in a little too quick at things. There are times where he doesn't go in. There are times where he doesn't really report things, like when he lost his gun and he didn't report it because he was afraid she was going to turn him in, because other cops who work there do not like her. And there's this whole emotional thing because his brother is locked up and his mother hates cops. And so his mother treats Harmon like really rude. And then because of this whole thing going on with Smokey, it causes his brother to get a hit on him and everything. He gets beat up in jail. We never get to see any of this crap. All this stuff that's supposed to be important, that you are supposed to tell, that help the story go further, we never see on screen. We only hear about it. And that is not how you tell a story. Also, he causes this whole gang war thing because in order to get Maniac, the guy who shot this rookie, who was the partner of Harmon, she had to go off the books and talk to a gangster, and so find out what's his name's at. He didn't want to give it up, but he did because she done some favors for him in the past. Now, because of that, all the big drug lord bosses are pissed at Smokey, and so they want to mess Smokey up. So instead, he just puts a hit on Diaz's brother in jail, and Diaz's brother gets beat up by 3 guys. This pisses Diaz off, and he makes some type of threat, and I guess it got back to some of his people, and so his people try to take out Smokey's people and stuff. Then Smokey people try to take out Diaz's people and stuff like that, and it caused Smokey's daughter to like get hit. She went to the hospital, Diaz trying to be nice to her, but then when they tried to capture Smokey, she ended up shooting up like Diaz, but he had his vest on, and his Smokey's daughter ended up getting like, shot in the head, and she's now gone. And so Harmon goes to get Smokey, but then he's just sitting there bleeding out, and he gets taken away. And it's kind of like, all of this whole Smokey crap is super rushed, and it's not enough to tell a cohesive story. And so Harmon was supposed to get a transfer and everything, and like she gets denied, and so she blames the black cop because him and her had heat from in the past because something happened and he didn't get lieutenant, so she blamed him. But it turns out it wasn't him, it was Lori Loughlin's character. I'll get into her a little bit later. And then when it comes to Harmon, like I said, when she's a one-note character and super cop and all this other stuff, we don't really know much about her. We know she dated somebody on the force. Don't know if it's male or female, but she won't say who it is. She has a dog. She likes dogs. She got upset when the dog got hit by this one person and the cop had to like take the dog out. And she has a sister who's on drugs and used to be a cop, who's now homeless. And she had to buy her mom a new wedding ring because her sister pawned it to get some drug money. Other than that, we really don't know nothing about her that makes you want to like her. And I hate that so much. You know what I'm saying? And as much as I love Troyan and everything, I wish she would play her own race at least once. She is half Italian, half Creole black. And every time I've ever seen her in anything, she's always playing a white girl. And even the girl who plays her sister, I'm pretty sure is white or something like that. It would just be nice if she would play her own race at least once. Because when she does do an amazing job at something, it would be nice that people be all like, wow, like somebody who looks like me, did this amazing job and getting praised and this and that. But when people look at her, they see a white girl. They have no idea she's half Creole black and half Italian. And when people find out, their jaws like hit the floor. And sometimes I wonder if she doesn't want Hollywood to like cast her as her own race, because then they might not cast her as a white character going forward. Because you know how Hollywood is and stuff like that. And so when she got denied her transfer, she screwed over Diaz and everything. So early on, she threatened to hurt somebody, which, you're not supposed to do if you're a cop. And his body cam footage was on, and she was worried that this is going to cost her. So she told him to turn it in. And her superior, who is kind of like a cop who told Diaz, hey, look, when they hit you, you hit back. I'm talking about like the criminals and stuff, which you're not supposed to do if you're a cop. So then, like, he didn't turn the footage in, but she thought he did. And that's what, got her not that transfer. And so they denied him his promotion thing to make him like a full-time cop, and instead he's back to being a rookie cop. And if he fails again, that's it, he gets no more chances. Also because he has like a brother who's literally locked up for some gang stuff and everything. And so he's pissed at her about that, but then she's all like, oh, I don't want you to end up like my last partner and blah, blah. I'm trying to make sure you don't live. So everything's okay and there's no consequences. And that's what I hate, because people are going to be all like, well, her not getting transferred, yeah, that's a consequence. But she literally screwed that dude over. But who screwed her? Well, it was Lori Loughlin's character. First and foremost, I did not even recognize this woman, because she's Aunt Becky from Full House, and I did not recognize her. I didn't even recognize her voice. Her voice has changed. So she decided not to give Harmon the transfer because Harmon went off the books and talked to a gangster to find Maniac, which she told her don't do. And so because of that, she didn't give her the transfer. Now, Lori Loughlin's character is meaner than that of Harmon. And she does a really good job as this. When it comes to Lori Loughlin, it's a shame because I lost all respect for her because this is because of the whole scandal with the college thing. You know how like she had like a daughter and she bribed colleges to put her daughter through with money and stuff. And so her and Felicity Huffman got like in trouble and had to get punished for it. There's even an inside joke on the show, because when you go to Troyan's character's locker, there's a sign that says, my kid is smarter than yours. Troyan's Harmon character doesn't have kids. So this is like an inside joke to the whole Lori Loughlin thing. And it pisses me off even more because Lori Loughlin didn't even take this whole thing seriously. When she had to go to court and everything, she acted like a superstar. She was signing autographs. She was like waving to the crowd. It's like she didn't even do nothing wrong, and she did. She didn't take it seriously. She didn't even take her punishment seriously. At least with Felicity Huffman, she took that seriously and everything. And I just got no respect for her because she is a true celebrity who's just kind of like, whatever, I can screw up and nothing, no big deal. You know what I'm saying? Another thing I want to point out with this show before I wrap this up is, okay, look, I'm glad the show is diverse, right? Because I love diversity in shows. But don't give me this whole crap of there being progressive by having a female lead who happens to be an actress of color, but the character is not an actress of a character of color. Her partner is a man of color, and they have all these other races and stuff. But yet, almost 90% of the people they go after in the show just happen to be Latina, and they happen to be gangsters. And because they're in LA, and I know, I get it, there are Latino gangs in LA and they do a lot of bad stuff. I don't have a problem with them showing that, right? I do not have a problem with them showing that because it's very realistic. But I have a problem when every bad guy in this show is pretty much Latina and everything. And they go hard in on them. But then when the white characters do something bad, it's kind of like a slap on the wrist on the show. It's like, hey, we can help you out. You know, we can get you some help. We can get you in rehab. And you don't have to go to jail and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just kind of like, dude, what the heck? That's so messed up how it's like, because that's what cop shows do when it's in shows or movies. It's always the black and the Latinos who are the gangsters and stuff like that. And it pisses me off because there are white people in gangs too. There are Italian people. And that's another thing. Italian people get tired of being mobsters and everything. And it's just always the same. But when it comes to this show, like I said before, you know, it's different, but a little bit of the same. It's a little bit of cops. It's a little bit of a drama, but it has to be fleshed out. When you have all this good juicy stuff that goes on with these characters and their backstories and all this other crap, you need to kind of see that happen and not always tell you. And then sometimes you do have to tell. Like this whole favors that Harmon did for Smokey the gangster. I don't want to know what she did to make those two, you know, help each other out at times and stuff. He doesn't like her, but he owes her some favors. But what did she do to help him and everything? It's never been stated. She keeps mentioning her mom, but we never see her mom. And like, you know, it's just all this stuff needs to be explained better. It needs a longer runtime. Like you can't tell a cop drama in a short amount of time and expect people to want to stay invested, because in the first 2 episodes I was bored and I was ready to not watch the rest, but I decided to watch the rest because, you know, it's short and Troyan is in it. But like the rookie cop that got shot, what do we know about her? Absolutely nothing. We just know her name, we know what she looks like, and that's about it. We don't hear from like her family really. We get to see a little bit of them, but that's about it. And it's just like nothing. So why did Harmon invest so much time in wanting to catch that murderer and everything? Like, why was she so invested if we don't know nothing about, like, you know, the officer that died and stuff? Delgado, that's her name. If I keep saying Diaz, my bad. But what do we know about her? Nothing. It would be nice. It would be nice to know if like she was involved in something, or, but it was just literally like, you know, a pullover gone bad. But, you know, one good thing about this show, it does show the realistic side of what cops have to go through on a daily basis. And it is scary and everything. I get it. There are some horrible cops in this country and stuff, but there are also some good ones. And it is nice to see a different perspective because, you know, the stuff they was going up against, and when there's like big crowds and people in their faces and throwing stuff at them, they have to hold back restraint. That is some scary stuff. So I'm glad this show decided to show that. But this show needs to have more of a dramatic side to it and more of a storytelling side to it. And the story that they gave us was extremely rushed. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.